Hey everybody, this is PJ Riley from Lancaster Archery. Here we wanted to tell you about the new upgraded versions of the HHA Tetra series of bow sights. These are compound bow sights from HHA. They've had the Tetra series out, but they've upgraded them for 2022 with some tweaks that really have the archer in mind. And what we're looking at here are the HHA Tetra and the Tetra Tournament Edition. You can see the differences. Obviously the Tournament Edition has the dovetail that you can adjust from 4 to 8 inches. And then you're gonna have the Tetra, which is your basic standard fixed position mounted sight. So before we get to what's new about these sights, let's just run through the functions. These are, HHA is known for their adjustable sights. So right here I have a single pin. That Tournament Edition is also a single pin version. They do make multi-pins. You're probably gonna see a 4 most common, but HHA will customize with 3, 5, you know, however many pins you wanna have in there. And then of course they are all adjustable. They're great. The adjustments on these are awesome. It's just a simple twist there to loosen the dial, and then man, and this thing goes from top to bottom. Basically, it's just a little more than 1 full turn. So you can adjust this thing from 20 to 80 yards, you know, boom, just the flick of a wrist. They do come with 52 computer-generated sight tapes. They are water resistant. You're gonna get them in the pack. You can see here, I have these sight tapes. And the tapes themselves are going to give you adjustments from 20 to 100 yards. And of course, sight tapes, the way they work, you know, you can see the smallest one here, that's going to be for your fastest bow. Over here, the gaps are larger, that's going to be for slower arrow speeds. You're going to figure out what works on your bow. You're going to get some sight scales along with some blank tapes in the middle there. And you're just gonna set that on the wheel, then you're gonna shoot. You're gonna get marks for 20, 40, 50. Take that, measure it against one of the pre-pinned sights, and then you'll be able to figure out which sight tape works for your bow. All right, so what else do we got here? For your windage then, same locking type system, just twist that knob right there, and then I am able to make my windage adjustments. Turning this dial, once I get it to where I want it, lock it back down, and then this thing is not moving anymore. It's locked in place, so you don't have to worry about it going left or right. So what else do we got here? We got a rheostat cover. This affects your pin brightness. Right now, you don't see any fiber exposed up the top there. Let's say it's dark and I want a little more light. I can just pull this out a little bit. Now you can see that fiber in there. That's going to allow more light to hit the fiber, which is going to transmit to your pin end there. If it is starbursting, you can close that rheostat to cover it back up. That's going to dull your pin back down. You've got this great scope ring in the middle there for you centering in your peep. You can get that set. It does have a level built in. And now we're going to get to what is new and cool about the Tetra series this year. This adjustment, incidentally, is the same on the Tetra as it is on the Tournament Edition. So in the previous models, this bar right here is what slid directly into the your elevation channel. And these screws, that's what held it in place. But these screws here are also your second axis adjustments. You loosen those, twist this up and down to get your second axis set. Well, the purpose of this channel is, it's called the infinite adjustment channel. So you can slide this whole scope anywhere up and down in this channel to maximize your distance. You can imagine, if I want to get the most distance out of this sight, then I want to have the elevation bar as high as it will go, and that's where I want to set my 20-yard pin. That way I know I have absolutely the most adjustment for distance to get down to those 90, 100, 110 yard ranges. In doing that, every time I would loosen this to slide it up and down the bar, then I have to reset my second axis because it's the same screws. Every time you loosen it, you're going to lose your second axis adjustments. So what HHA did was add this plate right here. Now my second axis adjustment is independent from the locking screws that hold it into my elevation channel. All right, so something else that plate did for HHA, you can see here I've got both of these sights. It's mounted in different positions because there's basically two identical screw positions on both sides. You can see this block is sitting to the right, and on this block, the Tournament Edition, it is sitting to the left. So there's some new sights come out on the market. Matthews V3X is a new one this year. It's got a dovetail for the sight mount cut in the center of the riser so that your sight doesn't have to sit on the outside. And if you've got a dovetail sight, that will work with that bow. What you're doing when you mount that sight on the V3 is you're pushing everything to the inside of the riser. So you could potentially not have enough right adjustment to pull that scope housing in to get it centered for your shot. By having this block, HHA allows you to account for that. Hoyt has their Picatinny mount, which positions the sight in the center of that riser rather than on the outside. And HHA has a special Hoyt edition of the Tetra that works in conjunction with that Picatinny. Again, it's going to take use of this plate to shift everything allow you to shift everything to the right so you have enough scope movement to get your center shot perfect. So lastly, on both sights, you're going to have your third axis adjustment right here. You're going to loosen this lock screw, loosen this bolt, and then third axis is getting your scope. It's like a swinging door. So you're going to loosen everything, level that scope so that it moves left or right, and then lock everything back down. You've got your third axis set. All right, so that is the new upgraded versions of the HHA Tetra series. You're going to have the Tetra and the Tetra Tournament Edition. Super solid, well-built sights. When everything is locked down on these sights, they are just built like a tank. Nothing moves. Great sights from HHA for whatever you want to do with your compound bow, hunting, target, whatever. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click that bell to get notifications whenever we put out new videos. As always, if you have any questions, you can visit us at LancasterArchery.com.